Hi everyone, thank you for coming today. I hope you're doing well. Today I just want to talk about what are some of the things that I have used in my junk journaling journey that I've recycled in my journal. So as you know, when I started with a magazine. This was a newsletter from the library, and this is what I chose to do before even buying anything, any ephemera, because I wasn't sure if junk journaling is the thing I want to continue doing. So if you, number one, are on a budget and you don't want to spend much money but you want to try this form of art, I would say try out with a magazine. Currently, I am using this magazine, and I am actually doing a series of how you can just use one magazine, which I paid $1 to actually build a journal. I have an episode, a series of episodes running, and feel free to check that out. But I want to say that you don't have to spend a lot of money. If you're not confident, you want to try something out, this is the best way to go. And in my journal, my first one, I want to show you here. Because I have a lot of questions about people who are stuck with buying ephemera. I'm not against buying, but if you want to try this art and you are not sure, this is the best way to go to see if you feel comfortable with it, if you want to spend money. I do spend money on ephemera, but I also use a lot of recycled stuff. For example, this is a this is a tissue shade that came in a shoebox of my husband's, and I've actually used and recycled that. What else do I use? Any form of advertisement that comes in the mail, in the mailbox, or like when you buy stuff like from IKEA, and these are cards that you can cover them up and actually make special tags for your journal. This, for example, caught my eye. In fact, my mom wanted the bag. I said, no, can I have it, please? But look at the pattern. This would definitely be a great addition to your page. Now, you don't have to, the idea is when you look at some packaging or certain things, don't look at it as a whole. Okay, you can use part of it. You can just use this part on a page. You don't have to use the whole bag. Or you could just cut this little thing out. See that medicine thing? This container? You could just cut that out. You could even color it in. The heart, if you wanted to, you don't have to, but I saw potential in this bag. The other things that I love collecting are these tea bags, because they provide color. Now you don't have to again put the whole thing on your page, but you can say hide it behind that, right? And when you're laying out the page, you may only use, say, 1706 as part of your page, or just the flower. So I love collecting these things because they, as you can see, they provide color to your page, right? Like this. So this was a sushi box that that came with my sushi and caught my eye. You know why? Because it's very unique and interesting, and it would definitely go into my journal. Maybe this one is too small, but maybe this journal it would fit, and I can lay it out, or I can even cut this out if that's the case. But definitely the text as well, it's unique, so it will go into my journal. Brown paper bag, if you don't have any, if you go to the shops, usually when you're buying stuff like mushrooms or things that are not wet, you can certainly use the bag, right, and recycle the bag. Wrapping paper. This was from Christmas and I still have it because definitely I can cut these and make them into ephemera. It's just that I haven't thought of what I could do with it, but it's sitting in a box where I'm collecting all these things. And that green is nice too. So this is wrapping paper. This is tissue paper that I bought some stationery a while ago and it came in the box. And I have used them several times and I still have heaps of it. This is corrugated cardboard, which comes in a lot of packaging boxes that you can actually save that and make tags out of it. I'm going to actually do a video on that shortly, and that is very useful because it provides texture. These packaging, I keep them too because, and this is also interesting because it's a little bit shiny, so you don't have to use the whole entire package like that. You could just cut that because again the wording on here and the font looks really interesting, and so I would cut that out and stick it on certain spots. You don't have to stick everything on the one page, but just something small. Say if you're doing a cluster, you might want something shiny. So a cluster is, if you're new, cluster is something like that where you have 2 or 3 things together. So you could put, say, that on here, right? The text here, share happiness, that would probably, I could cut that out, but it's definitely going into my keep box because it's not too big. If you wanted to have another language, you could cut that out. You could cut this logo out. That would obviously add as ephemera. Now this is a I can't remember where this one came from. Oh, it came in the pizza box, I think. So that looked really interesting. It's been sitting in my box. Definitely I will keep that because I would like to add that because it's black and it gives it really helps the page pop out. And it has an interesting logo on it. So definitely that's going into my my journal. The other thing that I've been collecting is these. So these are clothing tags that you can save and cover them up. I have got a few on my playlist. Feel free to check it out under process videos. And you can make tags for your journal. And I even saved this time because that came with one of the tags, and you can reuse that for instead of getting lace or ribbon, you can save that, and that is good enough for your journal. So that's sitting in there. Let me see what else. The other thing is a magazine like this. So this magazine is one that I picked up for 50 cents, I think. It is in the op shop, which is not expensive, but it's worth recycling. Look at this page. I would love either to cut it out, or it can be a background for a page in the journal, or you could just cut parts of it out. And that would be amazing. And there's other bits and pieces in here like these cute little pictures which you can add. It depends on what type of journal obviously you're building, but that looks really cute, that ball of fluff, isn't it, as a background for a page. So magazines are great for that. The other thing that I do with magazines recently I've been doing is, instead of buying words, and sometimes I've seen people complaining about these words that come in in certain packs. They don't make sense, right? So what you can do is you can look through your magazines and start collecting words, right? If you don't feel like junk journaling or you're sitting watching TV, you could cut things like these out. For example, see these? So I've put them in here so that I have a stash of different words that inspire me with different size text. Can you see that? And I've put them in here. I've got little ones here as well. Okay, I don't do that every day. It's just that some days I don't feel like journaling maybe, but it's worthwhile going through magazines, right? Particularly if I've taken out all the pictures that I really want, and I'm just going through and seeing whether before I throw it away, is there anything else I can harvest from the magazine, and see, like that is beautiful. I don't know, that might just go as an ephemera on a cluster, or a few things that I might want to add to it. I also collect these, the ends and the exclamation marks, because they look cute, and alphabets. I haven't sorted out my alphabets, but they could be very interesting in a journal. It doesn't have to make sense. It just needs to have, and your page just needs to have interesting items on it. And I've collected numbers too. Okay, see how that's like really interesting? The font, it says issue 55, and these means nothing, but it looks good. And this, like even that O1 dot. Okay, now when you look through magazines, feel free to look through and see how you could use them, and you could cut it out. See, for example, here I'm looking at this font here, Strawberry Thief. I would so cut that out because that looks cute. And even these, right, they look cute because they can be used as ephemera. You could either cut the whole thing out or cut individual, I think these are hexagons, and you could even cut the cup or these, and you could use them as ephemera, right? You don't have to buy them, particularly if you're starting out and you're not sure if junk journaling is really something that you want to do. And you could start off this way. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be pricey. The other thing that I collect is so this came as a junk mail, but I thought that the aerogram, we don't get these things anymore. When I grew up, it used to be a thing, right? Like it used to be airmail like that, and it looks fun. And what you can do is you can decorate the front, and you can put things in here as part of your journal. Amazon packaging, can you see how that is so interesting? Gum nuts, and that would be really lovely to add to your journal. You could, some people like to use barcodes. these QR codes in their journals, and you could certainly do that, or even that, because that is very unique. Numbers and different things do make your journal look very interesting. The other thing I just wanted to show you is coloring book. So see this? This is a coloring book it has been sitting in my stash for a while, and I haven't really got around to coloring it, but it certainly looked nice in my journal. I could either color it in and put it in my journal, or cut parts of it out. And in fact, there's one here. There's a few here. Because I bought some larger coloring books and I actually painted them like this. And that became a page in my journal. So that's what you could do if you have coloring books sitting and lurking around in your study or your room. You could do that. The other thing I wanted to talk about is fabric. You may have fabric sitting around. Let me show you a page where I've used fabric to build my journal. So this is one where I've used calico. I don't know if you know calico. This is just plain cotton. I think they're cotton. I'm not sure. But I had a lot of this thing left over and I've used it as a tie, and I like that kind of scrappy, rugged look, messy look, as a tie. I didn't want, or you could use ribbon, that's fine, but I wanted to show you where I use fabric on here. Where is it? Oh, here. So can you see, so there was only a little bit left, but I really like the vintage look of that fabric. So I decided to incorporate that into my junk journal. The good thing about excuse my dog. And this one here, as you can see, I've combined fabric and paper. The good thing about junk journaling is you can do that because it's a bit of a mixed media type of journal. You don't have to just stick to paper. I like combining them, and so which means that you can use scraps, right? So like this, for example, I have a little bit left, and what I might do is I could cut it out, and that would be my little where's my other journal that I was going to show you here. See how I actually made the cover by cutting the fabric out and making that like ephemera. Okay, so that's how you can use fabric. Those are few ways that you can use your fabric if you have them in your stash. The other thing I wanted to show you is if you go to some shops, you might find that they have, like this is from Uniqlo. If you wanted to have words in a different language, you can use this magazine. You'll find them free. Some or even like IKEA, they have these magazines, and there's certain pictures in there which look really good, so you don't have to actually even spend money on it. You could just get one of those. I think IKEA has it. So Uniqlo, the reason why I've taken this one is because I'm thinking of doing a Asian theme journal. So I wanted some of these words. I have no idea what they mean, but I don't think that they're bad, right? And I decided to take one of these to cut them out. The other magazine you could be looking out for is National Geographic. Can you see that that logo there, that looks really nice. That could go into your journal. But look at that. That would be really nice on a page. You could either cut it out or you could use that as a background. And there's words in here as well that you could certainly cut out. And if you're an animal lover, you might want to use some of the photos, like these animals, right? And use them in your journal if you are an animal lover. And behind here, there's maps, which also you can cut out, which is definitely very interesting. And you can use either to cover your journal, or you could use it as a background. The possibilities are endless, and these ones were free from my library. I got 3 of them. So yes, so that's certainly very helpful. I haven't used them yet, but certainly will be using them. The other thing that I was going to show you was these are some little books. Oops, sorry. So because it's an art book, right? So not everything in there is actually usable for me, if you know what I mean. But I wanted to use these to, maybe some of them, not, maybe the Van Gogh one would be better. Some of these to put them in my journal because they look interesting. They're art. So, and I found them in my dad's garage. And these are very interesting embroidery letters. And I don't know how old they are, but they certainly would look very good in my journal. And that looks like some crochet work, but very antique. And it would be a shame to throw it away, but if I preserved it, because it's already like in pieces, and put some of them in my journal, might be helpful. The other thing you could do is to save your cards. Now, some of these you may not like the picture of, but you may like the words. You could certainly use an envelope like this. So something like this, which I saved, right, from just normal envelope that I receive, and I like the registered post on it. So all I did was just to staple it to here. I didn't want the address to be seen, so I've put some washi on there, and I've actually put a card in here, right? And you can certainly do that, or you could make your own envelope using magazine pages. If you want to know how to do that, I have it in my playlist. But see this one here? This is actually an envelope that I made. Some of you have seen my video, but then I decided to put this in. So you can certainly put cards in here, right? If you don't like the picture of the card, but you wanted to remember someone who's given you the card, you could certainly put that. Maybe that one's too, yeah, one of these maybe, right, in there. So cards are something that, I'm sure people have lots of them built up throughout the years. You can certainly put them in pockets. That's what I'm saying. And the other thing I want to show you is, so some of these printing things that I printed a while ago, I was testing things out, and I had printed the wrong size, and I didn't want to throw them away. You can obviously cut them out and put them in your journal. Let me find where I did that. All right, have a look at this. So that was going to go in the rubbish bin, but I actually like how so, there was a little bit of paint on it, and I just thought that would look fantastic on the background because eventually I'm just going to cover part of it anyway. And it has not gone to waste. And I love how you can think outside the box and recycle things that you would normally throw in the bin, right? Let me show you a couple more things. The other thing that you could use, or rather that I recycle and use from my stash. So these are just threads that I found in my stash that I use to make bookmarks, as you can see. And this is wool. So they were all from my stash, but I just, repurposed and recycled them. And these ones were from my chocolate bunny recently, Easter time, right? And that's what I've done with putting that as like a dangle on here. And all I've done here is to use a paper clip. Can you see a paper clip just behind here? There you go. And that's how I've used it. This is a good way for you to obviously recycle stuff, and particularly if you are on a strict budget and you don't want to spend too much, have a look at the op shops. See, like this is only $1, but you get a book full of beautiful flowers that you can cut out for your journal, right? If you don't like flowers, find a different book that is wonderful to use. The other thing I was going to show you was this one here, which was again from my dad's garage, but definitely worth keeping some of the pictures that I can use. You can use your book page to cut out and make tags. Use them as, background pages. The black and white is really lovely. Look at that. I haven't actually ventured this far, but, maybe ask around your family members, especially older family members that are getting rid or decluttering, getting rid of stuff. Go to the op shop. The other place that's worth looking at is Facebook Marketplace, where people get rid of a lot of their scrapbooking things that they've not used. Recently, my daughter picked up a whole bundle of stuff for $10, and there were so many pieces of paper. She shared them with me, and you just never know. Or the other one I wanted to show you was my word search. You know that I love this book, but what do you do when you finish your word search? And I use my highlighters and color pencils to make it more interesting. You can certainly add them into your journal, right? So thank you again for watching, and thank you for coming. Hope this has helped you. If you are on a budget and you want to start but you don't know where to start, this is a good way. Look around in your cupboards, in your stash. There might be old books. Just use something that's accessible and cheap. That way you are not afraid to make a mistake, but what you are doing is you're exploring, you're trying, and you will enjoy the process a lot more than worrying about expensive ephemera and then worried about marking up your creativity. So for me, that has been the key to explore this without fear of cost, without fear of making mistakes. So see you guys again in the next video. Bye.